Support your locals, starting with Space Smoke Shop, located on 125 East Pennington Street, Tucson, Arizona. Space Smoke Shop, local glass, cheap tobacco, any drink you can think of. We're also a hookah lounge and a venue. Like us on Facebook to keep up with shows, deals, and new products.
And Punk Rock Tuesday. Every second and fourth Tuesday. It's Punk Rock Tuesday. Woo!
Be sure to tell them you heard about it on the GMR Podcast. See you soon. Welcome to the GMR Podcast, Show 48. We're going to kick things off with the last portion of the Tucson ComiCon 2013 clips. And then we'll flow right into this week's episode.
I see an Aussie over there. Look, there's an Aussie something. Ozzy Osbourne. McFarlane. Is that what they are, McFarlane?
Talking about.
Yeah, never had the snow speeder.
Still going down that way? This is where we need Juggernaut.
Oh, there's Bane.
Yep. Wow.
A 3-foot Batman. I think we ought to turn around. Not a lot of steampunk stuff this year.
No, not nearly as much as Phoenix.
What's that thing, Marty?
Binoculars.
Are they real? How much are
They
they?
look like night vision. 45. That's what I was thinking too.
Hey, the trading cards. We found them. Trading cards. Oh yeah, the Desert Storm cards. Last Action Hero.
It's everywhere. It's sitting in a box for 20 years. Ghostbusters cards. I never had any Ghostbusters cards.
No?
Oh, Ghostbusters 2.
Remember the wacky packages?
No, I love those.
The Drowning? Oh, see, that's what happens to everybody that's touched one of those.
Probably a big $1 a piece.
Yeah, those are lost.
I used to have them stuck all over everything.
Me too.
On the bedpost. Issue 1, I used to collect this one.
Yeah?
Now you can get it in an omnibus and Dark Horse. You didn't have a whole lot of extra Indiana Jones stories then. I'm acting like it's a camera. I used to get this and this, not explaining what it is.
Like they can even hear you.
Well, you never know.
Old comics I don't even want to touch. 12-cent Hulk. How much is that? Motherfucker. $8. That's not bad. Pretty poor condition.
So you know where to come when you want that Desert Storm version.
Okay.
That's right. We lose Mark. Get the hell out of here then. Just ditch him.
The fine art of losing Mark Brady.
Oh, what do we do now?
How'd you get the Safeway in that? The shortcut. The portal. You bought a coffee mug. Changes color. Nice. That cost more than it did to get in here. Spider-Man and somebody else back.
You want to hold this and get background noise?
Yeah.
While I go try and use the bathroom.
So here we are wrapping up Tucson ComiCon Day 1. You can see why they put it at the first of the month, because people have money. And that's a big thing right there. Walking past us, you can't see it because it's a podcast. We were looking at old trading cards, because that's the one thing here that really fascinates me.
How many people do you think are here?
There's a lot more people here than there was last year or the year before. I'd say it's tripled,
1,500?
quadrupled, yeah. Here comes Duck Dynasty.
your beard?
Yours too. Mine used to be about that long, and I cut off my dermatologist, and it never came back as long as it was before.
Wow. There's another beard.
I hit his face.
We just saw
You saw that on the podcast.
Dr. Freeze just came out of the women's room, looking very confused.
Slightly embarrassed.
This is the place to come to see people with blue hair. You just don't get that. I feel like it's still Halloween. Halloween never ended.
No, there's a Rorschach. You see him? Rorschach. Okay, I guess, what time is it?
Got a text from Ray.
Yeah?
You guys at ComiCon. Yes. And it's 2:30. He just sent that a minute ago. Waiting for a response.
Hey, it's Big Brother winner. Drew Beard. And Secret Shooter. What the hell was his name? Not Ian, but the other guy. Andy.
Big Brother booth.
All right, Ray just texted us.
You never know. There might be a reason.
And we did about an hour and a half, and we almost saw everything. These guys are always here. The 68 zombie guys. Uh-oh. Almost got run. Well,
I'm following you. You're leading the way. Wait, trail, everybody.
This is the exit here, man. So what are we going to go sit up? Go have a cigarette and wait for Ray? See what he says? Oh, jammed up. Are we all trying to take the elevator? Here it is.
See it come down?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love your talking ability.
I just rode up here with a stormtrooper.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, escalator time. Oh, no place to sit out there. Outside. So what do you think, Marty?
It is bigger than last year. I might have enough time to get my oil still.
Wow. 2 Comic-Cons in a row I found sunglasses.
Yeah, but you'll
But
find
the-
another
but the-
pair. Those are
last-
NASCAR ones.
Huh?
They're NASCAR.
Is that what these are?
That's what it says on the
Oh, I didn't know that.
Now are we going to cut down this street again?
That's the way we went last year.
Now we're walking back.
Ray said he'll join us for the next podcast.
Ah, cool.
continuation of this.
And my shoe has become untied. That's a little update. $8 parking. Holy shit.
That's ridiculous.
Skateboarding prohibited.
What about roller skates? Don't know about
Nobody roller skates anymore. Seeing that kid play Batman on the NES made me want to play. I used to whip the shit out of that game. That was one of the first games that I got just so I could see the ending was the payoff. When you finally defeated the Joker, it had like that little ending sequence.
I needed the Game Genie to beat that game.
It's a nice warm day out.
People were walking around like in t-shirts like this. And I mean, it was like 45 degrees out.
What the hell are you talking about?
I went trick-or-treating in Iowa when I was up there. It was like really cold. Everybody else was like, I saw maybe 3 people wearing like sweaters, and the rest was just like in t-shirts with the rest of them.
Now we're back. Okay. Back on the street. Guess gonna wrap it up. Alright, we're at church and Broadway. GMR Podcast, live at ComiCon. GMR.
Wow. 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 Wow.
GMR.
Wow. Hey, you been twerking lately, Marty? You tried out that twerk?
It sounds like a curse word.
Yeah.
Like twerp.
I've been thinking about it.
Or you're all hopped up on goofballs. You're all twerked out.
I've been twerking. The kids twerk.
It's the GMR Podcast, show 48.
We're twerking.
We're back once again. I'm Marty Catola.
I'm the other guy.
And we've been binging on Mystery Science Theater for what feels like days now. Actually, it was only since yesterday.
The Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah. They had a real Turkey Day Marathon on the internet yesterday, and we sat through pretty much the whole thing.
Hugh Beaumont's in this?
Oh,
Richard
Hugh
Keel?
Beaumont. Yeah, the marathon continues. See, we're watching Human Duplicators right now with the sound off while we're continuing the podcast. I think the first one you showed up for was Werewolf.
No, it had just started, yeah.
And then we went and picked up Ray, so we didn't get to see that whole episode.
Which is a shame.
You know. And then they showed Cave Dwellers, and then we had to take Ray home, and we only got to see a little bit of that one, but enough of that one to report on that one. He saw the hang glider parts, and
I liked it. It made no sense. It had Miles O'Keefe, who I first saw in Tarzan the Ape Man.
Yes, Tarzan the Ape Man.
With Bo Derek and Richard, what's his?
Richard Lynch, who was in Werewolf, the movie before.
Richard Lynch.
Right?
No.
Richard Harris.
Richard Harris.
Oh, I get all those guys mixed up.
Come on. He's one of those Shakespearean actors.
That's right.
Is that a UFO?
That is a UFO.
Wow, that would scare the piss out of me.
Looks like a Christmas ornament, but it's a UFO. And that is Richard Keel of EGOT fame.
This guy is awesome. Richard Keel from EGOT or James Bond.
Oh, yes. No beard in this one.
And he was in that episode of Twilight Zone.
Ah.
How to serve people. How to serve man. That's what it was. With the other big guy who's in all the other movies.
And the Sci-Fi Channel shows Twilight Zone marathons on New Year's Eve a lot of the time.
Is that right?
They'd show about 30 hours of that straight. And what happens at the end of Cave Dwellers? Is it showing how the world became that way, or did somebody just set off a nuke at the end of the movie? Spoiler.
I think that crystal or whatever they had that was good and evil and it was the opposite of it was yin and yang of everything the guy said, right? I can't remember. If I could remember, it'd be a better story. But I think the girl said so it might be a weapon, and I think that was it. And then they blew up their civilization, which existed thousands of years before.
Oh, so it was a nuke.
Yeah, and they destroyed the civilization, and there were these cave dwellers, and they were the only ones left.
That would explain the tire tracks.
Yeah, that would explain the tire tracks because if they had those, yeah, sure, why not?
Why not?
Maybe those were cart tracks, right?
Yep.
What about the guy with the Ray-Bans?
Yeah. I don't know how do you... They just didn't care. Then it was the final sacrifice.
That was a good one.
Yeah. We made it through that entire episode.
That one was just whizzed by. I don't know what happened.
Did, yeah.
All of a sudden it was over.
A little roused hour goes a long way.
It's a classic. It's a holiday tradition. Just like wrestling and Thanksgiving go together. Turkey and Mystery Science Theater 3000.
It's the movies themselves are the turkeys.
Richard Keel. Who was the other guy? The other guy who was in the... Do you know that Twilight episode I'm talking about? How to Serve Man?
I know of it, yeah.
The other guy was the guy who was on Star Trek, the big giant guy. He was a robot. Remember when Kirk was a robot and they were like putting him on that thing?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They went down in the earth in this fucking somewhere on this planet.
See, that could have been an episode of the cartoon.
And I could have. But he was falling in love and all that shit. The cartoons, any one of them could be expanded into an episode. And if you think about it, like, there's a lot of redundancy in Star Trek because they, like, have the same plot types over and over again.
Over and over. You're imperfect.
Somebody's taking over the ship. We got to take the ship. We're going to hijack the ship. We're going to go somewhere. You got things to do. Come on, throw another one out there.
Well, I know at one point, spoiler alert, Zap Rousdower was in the cult, but somehow had gotten out of the cult.
Oh, he's back on the Zap Rousdower. Zap.
Yeah, what a name.
He was Zap. He was a badass. He drank a lot of beer. You've all seen Zap. What's the movie called?
The Final Sacrifice.
The Final Sacrifice. You should check it out. It's on YouTube. Check out our Twitter feed.
Oh, yeah, we've been tweeting constantly.
You should tell everybody about how we're on our new network.
Oh, that's right. Actually, we do need to mention that. Well, we don't have our promo ready yet, but we're now on Stitcher. It's a internet radio network. It's a podcast network. You can hear the show anywhere with this thing, as long as you get the app.
Is the app free?
The app is free. You can download it at, I believe it's Stitcher.com. We'll be tweeting that out. And already it's in 4 million car dashboards, and you can stream all your favorite podcasts. And you don't have to worry about downloading it or syncing anything up or wasting your memory. It's all right there at a touch of a button.
And so our power grows.
That's right. And that seems to be the wave of the future since AM/FM is going away in cars. They'll be replaced with things like Stitcher and Pandora and whatnot, what have you. But yeah, that Final Sacrifice did go by really fast. That one was probably the breeziest of all. And then that was followed by Mitchell, which was like the third or fourth viewing in the last month, it feels like. And so I remember zoning out hardcore at the end of that.
No, it kind of took my steam out. I was really had a lot of energy going into Mitchell.
Yeah.
But as it wore on, I think I followed the plot, though. I think I understand.
That Galano was going after
There were so many
Estrada.
fucking people with so many fucking names. And then John Saxon cut out of the whole end of the movie.
Oh, he just disappeared.
He's a major character in the movie. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, he dies in a dune buggy explosion,
I know
which
you
don't get to see.
I think he was just trying to lure people into his house so he could shoot him.
That's what
you
it
know?
seems like.
So he could shoot him in the back when they went in his fucking room.
That set off the whole investigation because the way the guy had landed. And
Yeah.
He was like, no, he didn't take one of your guns. You just shot this dude.
And that was that fucking Mitchell who figured that out?
Yeah.
Mitchell wasn't CSI?
You know, when Mitchell sneaks into the house, he's, I'm going to put my gun in the glove box if I get shot when...
No, yeah. But I'm saying Mitchell figured
Jumps over
this
the
out,
fence.
not
Yeah.
like some investigative fucking
he
homicide department.
He figured it out the first night he walked in there.
He just looked around.
Yeah.
He's like, psh.
He's already knew it that it
He
was
laid
bullshit.
he laid down in the spot. He's like, yeah, okay, I know what's going on. Because he's fucking Mitchell, and he's a badass. Let's watch it again, Marty.
Whew.
Marty.
It is a good one, but wow, Mitchell overdosed there a little bit. But then it was nice to see the bots have Thanksgiving dinner with Joel at the end.
Yeah.
And then it was over. But it wasn't really over because I'm insane and I keep the marathon going.
That fucking song is in my head now.
Then we watched The Day the Earth Froze.
A good one. Took a long time for the earth to freeze.
It did.
And it was only frozen for a little while. Just a day, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the day the...
It wasn't like the
It wasn't
week.
the week the earth froze. Yeah.
But it seemed like it was going on for a while, but maybe not. I'll have to rewatch it.
A lot of strange stuff going on in that one. They have the winds chained up in bags at some point. And
Have to fucking get the notes on it. I'm sure it's somewhere on the internet somebody's written a summary of what it's all about, how it works.
It's really all about Sampo.
Sampo. You gotta
More
get
than
this.
anything.
If we had Sampo, we'd be fine. We'd
Oh,
be fucking full of salt. We'd have all the salt we need.
You wouldn't have a deficit.
And gold.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
A Sampo creates salt, wheat, and gold, right?
That's right.
What more do you need?
Grain.
Grain.
I think it was just grain. They weren't really specific about which.
Just Sampo grain. It's
They needed the Sampo. Nobody knows what the hell we're talking about, but
that's
just look
why
up-
that's why we're explaining.
Just Google Sampo.
Yeah.
Figure it out. How do you spell Sampo?
Sampo.
Wow.
Yes, the day the earth froze, and then we had to call it for the night because that one, after the fifth screening of Mitchell.
Oh yeah, Mitchell.
It was I was kind of zoning out.
Those Mitchell songs are pretty good. Who is that? Hoyt Axton?
Hoyt Axton of Gremlins fame.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker.
He's the dad who brings home Gizmo. And
Woo.
today, all we really watched was you caught the tail end of Crash of the Moons.
Yeah. I saw the moons crash.
And then we just finished up Hercules and the Captive Women.
Well, we saw most of it.
Yeah.
But I think I've probably seen that one before. I'd like to think I've seen them all before, but I don't know that that's true. Fred used to love these fucking things. Anytime the show was on, he's like you. He'd just watch it because it was on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, you're like, fuck. I guess I don't know. Lately, I've been watching all kinds of crappy movies or anything. I'll just watch anything because I'm fucking bored. Because I'd broke my MP3 player, so I was unable to listen to podcasts for, what was that, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Something like that.
So I started watching weird fucking movies. Let's say, What Dreams May Come. What was that other one? Something.
You thought the second tape was just the making of, but it was really the second half of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Of the Green Mile.
I had to call him up and be like, hey, remember this? Because I forget that boy's cheese done slid off his cracker.
Yeah, see, I didn't even have to look at the note.
Anyway, it's a good... it made me almost want to watch the first half of the movie.
Oh,
again.
You didn't watch the first half?
No, it was a 2-video cassette package with like special features. And the first part of the movie was on the first tape.
Yeah.
And I didn't want... The special features were on the second part, and I figured I'd just watch the special features. Anyway, I watched Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. I watched all kinds of whatever the fuck. There were a couple movies I was like, nah, I'm not going to watch that. But someday I'll probably watch that. Maybe not.
Well, we'll continue tweeting out the rest of the MST Marathon probably well into Saturday afternoon as it finally wraps. But the Loft Cinema here in Tucson, Arizona. Well, there's probably Tucson something else. I don't know.
Nah, I doubt it.
This theater is pretty cool. It's down the street on Speedway, and they're having another all-night Scream-O-Rama. We went to one earlier in the year. What was that, around March or so?
I don't know. I know it wasn't on Friday the 13th, but it was close to a Friday the 13th.
Well, we did a podcast and then went
That's right.
went to it.
Me, you, and Mr. Brady.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's down to go this year.
This one is all holiday-related horror movies.
Let me grab one of those so I can look at that
All
as
right.
well.
So they do from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. Oh, and you can have one of those. I picked up extra.
Awesome.
Should have given Ray one yesterday, but it seemed like he was only here for about 15 minutes. It seems like they dug out pretty much every Christmas-related horror movie, minus its sequels. We're going to start things off at 9 o'clock
that night. And this is going to be on Friday, December 13th. So this is just a couple weeks from now, and then we'll be podcasting about that. Probably do the other, like last time, do a podcast and then go to the marathon again. They're going to start things off with Black Christmas. Now, this is from the director of Porky's and A Christmas Story. When he started his career out, Bob Clark, before he would make things like Baby Geniuses and Turk 182 later on, he would make horror movies like Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things.
Wow.
And Black Christmas. Not the remake of Black Christmas, which is okay, but the original.
Wow, they're going to have Dead Nog drink specials.
Oh, yeah.
All sorts of shit. Scary holiday shorts.
So you can puke up the dead nog.
See, that's what we miss because every time there's a break in the movies, I had to go out and have a cigarette.
So you don't get to see a lot of the
shorts. So I didn't get to see all the middle, the break. Last time they had the contest, remember?
Yeah.
Are they doing the contest again?
Let's see here. What does it say? Repulsive giveaways before each movie.
There you go. See, I'm going to miss all those because I'm such a...
Well, it's hard to stay in there consistently.
And then hopefully I don't fucking kill myself for that last movie.
Oh, right. Yeah. No falling down in the
well, you know what?
Lobby this time.
Yeah. Okay. So Black Christmas.
Yes. One of the original slasher movies. It's as old as me.
1974. Yes. Canadian
slasher flick from the 70s.
Canada.
That's
98
what you want.
minutes. Rated R.
Yeah, this is years before Halloween, Friday the 13th.
Margot Kidder. Wow. Love me some Margot Kidder.
Yeah, that's pretty much classic. And then the 11 p.m. movie, I think this was a direct-to-video movie. I'm not as familiar with this one. Santa's Sleigh, starring Bill Goldberg, who I know from The Celebrity Apprentice.
Is that right?
Yeah.
This is a 2005 movie. Made in the USA, 78 minutes, so at least I can't see.
That's
I think I've heard of this movie.
Yeah.
It might have been direct-to-video. WWE star Bill Goldberg. He was in WWE for I don't even think a year. So how is he a WWE star? I would say WCW star, but let's get into a wrestling discussion right now. Because I think Ric Flair could have kicked his ass in his prime.
He plays the real Santa in this movie.
Wow.
The one who is actually Satan's deadly son.
Is that who Santa really is?
The one who attacks strip clubs just for laughs, hurling exploding presents from his sleigh, and murders annoying Christmas carolers. Well, that should be fun.
Well, that sounds like Futurama. You ever see that?
That's the real Santa, the
Xmas?
John Goodman.
Wow.
Then at 12:30, see, back when they made Black Christmas, you could make a Christmas horror movie, nobody cared. But when this movie called Silent Night, Deadly Night came out, parents groups were up in arms about a slasher who dressed like Santa Claus coming to kill you.
Back in 1984, that bothered people?
Oh, it bothered the shit out of them. Parents groups got all the advertisements for the movie pulled from television, and the MPAA ratings board can start to tighten its belt more and more over the next 5-6 years for horror movies. But then we got our NC-17 rating, which nobody ever used, and then eventually R became the NC-17 if you look at things like Jackass and shit nowadays. But back when Silent Night, Deadly Night
Didn't somebody
shocked
take a poop
people.
in Jackass?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've never... What movie was that? 2?
The first one, I think.
A poop.
A poop.
A real poop.
Tweet us if I'm wrong at GMR Podcast.
Yeah, people love to tweet us.
They do.
Do they?
Well,
nice.
We can give that illusion.
Okay, illusion. This movie is made in 1984.
Yeah.
A USA flick, 85 minutes, rated R, a 35 millimeter print apparently.
Ooh. Yeah, this movie still kind of creeps me out. It's just kind of a nasty, ugly movie.
Bill Goldberg is not in this one.
No, he's not in this one.
Unfortunately. Okay, so now it's 2 a.m.
And it's, time for cuddly movie, Gremlins. Well, Gremlins is a Christmas movie, and you got to fill up the time somehow in the middle of the night. We know that Richard Christie loves Gremlins.
Is that right?
Yeah.
This came out the same year the Silent Night, Deadly Night came out.
Right in the 80s. It was the pinnacle time.
Hey, the movie after it, Don't Open Till Christmas, also 1984.
Wow.
And it's a British slasher Christmas movie.
This is turning into a long night at this point.
Oh, yeah. Then they start throwing the goofy shit at us. 5:30 a.m. Jack Frost, direct-to-video 97. Not Michael Keaton, but a really corny slasher movie. I saw the second one, and it was completely ridiculous.
This has nothing to do with Michael Keaton?
No, but it's basically a...
Oh, that was a comedy, right?
Yeah. Well, that was about this dad who dies and comes back as a snowman.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, how fucked up is that, right?
When that is
That is a horror movie.
Scared the shit out of me. Snowman starts coming up wanting to talk to you and hug you and shit.
This is about a killer snowman, kind of like in that South Park pilot, The Spirit of Christmas. Oh, Christmas Evil at 7 a.m. John Waters' favorite Christmas movie, one I've seen at the Loft already a few years ago, about this guy who works in a toy store, and he's kind of not right in the head, and he thinks he's Santa Claus, and then he gets fired, and he decides to become Santa Claus and give gifts to the good and punish the bad people.
Sure.
And there's that M. Night Shyamalan type twist at the end. Christmas Evil.
I've actually never seen the end of an what did you just say?
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan? Is that a real thing? M. Night Shyamalan?
The guy who made Sixth Sense and Signs
I
and
have
Unbreakable.
You know what? I've seen Sixth Sense, but I never saw the fucking. I guess I've never seen the ending because I never saw any. I don't get it.
Last Airbender. They're going to show Altered States over there next month, which I thought was kind of odd.
That's a good fucking movie.
We were just talking about that. Then on New Year's Eve, which is Tuesday night,
Too much flipping here.
there's the Monty Python New Year's Eve
Wow.
party.
Crunk.
Well, what is a GMR podcast without
Crunkle.
microphone sound?
Microphone sound. Let's get Mark Brady in here. Woo!
Well, on New Year's Eve, we're going to see Monty Python and the Holy Grail over there.
Wow.
They will be serving Monty Python's Holy Ale at the snack bar.
We haven't hung out on a New Year's Eve since Robert was in town.
That's true. And then what else are they showing over there? It's really crazy. They're showing a bunch of Marx Brothers movies all month. I think we talked about that before. And they're showing another disturbing old school movie, Ms. 45, about rape and revenge and putting on a nun's habit and shooting people. Yeah, it's a New York 1981 classic.
I can't. Well, it sounds good. It sounds like maybe like a
It's a
death wish type thing.
Yeah, it's
Just-
like a female death wish. She's like chopping up the bodies in the bathtub to get rid of them. It's pretty gnarly. So I love that they're showing that right in time for the holidays. Well, you got to do things to get yourself through the holidays. We've already got through 2 of them, and now we just have the Christmas/New Year's to get through, and Valentine's Day and Arbor Day and Groundhog's Day. And Groundhog's Day is right on the corner again. I'm going to stay up all night and watch that groundhog.
What date is that? February?
February 2nd. Still getting pretty close, though. Oh, and I hope you enjoyed the last of the Tucson ComiCon clips that we played at the beginning of the episode. Finally done with that. I believe that was us leaving the place and then walking back a little bit to the car. All in all, a good day.
ComiCon.
It was a fast day.
Well, you got to pace yourself, you know?
Yeah. Well, it was a good 2.5 hours.
There's too many people at Tucson ComiCon now. They need to stop going.
Yeah, they need to go to Phoenix,
Yeah.
where there's room for people.
Or they need to expand that shit, knock a wall down.
Well, one day Tucson and Phoenix will merge,
I've heard that.
and then it'll just be the Tucson Phoenix ComiCon.
That'll be awesome. We'll be like Glendale or something.
Double your pleasure, double your
They'll
cons.
just annex us.
Wow, 48 podcasts, people. We're coming up on a whole year's worth of GMR podcasts. Amazing.
And thanks for listening. It's going to be an interesting 2014. We're going to get just the slightest bit more organized around here. But if you've been listening from the beginning, you've noticed that happens a little bit more each week anyway. GMR.
Damn, I don't have time to fucking beat you at. Get my revenge on.
Oh, well, you'll just have to study those season 1 episodes for next week.
All right, GMR.